And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, we're talking Tron Ares at the box office. Not been a pretty sight there, plus what happened last weekend at the New York Comic Con. Peacemaker Season 2 and more. So go ahead and check it out today, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, of course, wanted to mention to you guys out there about my good friend, Drip Show, right here. Drip Show, doing some quality stuff right there. If you want some detailed, really just extravagant, just really high-end stuff here when he talks about right there. Canvas art. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Right there, right above me. With Kobe right there as the Genesis cartridge. Just my love of both the Lakers and video games and pop culture all mixed into one right there. And he can do the same for you. Just go ahead and follow him at Drip Show Shop on Twitter and Instagram. You send him a message. Just tell him what you're thinking as far as design and pop culture, sports. He's done a lot of stuff as far as the Dodgers, Lakers, but tell him your ideas. And he may be able to make it happen for you. Go ahead and follow at Drip Show Shop today on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll tell you what, whether it's a hat, a shirt, pillow, if you any type of product that you think he'd be able to make, go ahead and reach out to at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. All right, there for you guys. How you doing? It's Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for joining us at the Lakers Fast Break. Wanted to go ahead and mention my NBA team previews are continuing. I had another great conversation here that I dropped with Kevin Samani, talking to Sacramento Kings, and also as well Megan Price, San Antonio Spurs. We're getting closer to the end of my series of NBA team previews. Plus, I've got interviews on the back end as well that you'll really like coming up for you. And if you're a member at just $2.99 a month, go ahead and make sure you become one, because you'll be getting those first and get a first chance to go ahead and check my great interviews right there. Plus, even if you're not, go ahead. If you like and subscribe, you'll be able to get the notice when I'm bringing out my NBA team previews to everyone out there. Some really great interviews right there lined up for you from the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us again. Like and subscribe. Hopefully it's going to be a good conversation, but it was a pretty depressing game. I was here in Vegas. Of course, I'm here in Vegas. And you know the Lakers are in Vegas. And I was asked if I wanted to go to tonight's game during the course of the day. They said it was, think about getting you a ticket. And I said, I'm very gracious of you to offer a ticket. But with Austin out of the lineup, Luka out of the lineup, LeBron out of the lineup, DeAndre Ayton out of the lineup, didn't quite think it would be the best value for the money on that. So I politely declined. That's a good thing I did, even though at the beginning of the first half, the Lakers with their subs basically in there for the most part, with a lineup that they threw out there, a starting lineup of Rui, Jared, Jackson, Gabe, and Dalton. Rui is the only starter that was in there tonight, although Jared Vanderbilt may start the season on the starting lineup. We all know how that goes. They actually held their own in the first half against most of the starters for Dallas and most of the rotation for Dallas, as they held up well in the first half, having a 4-point lead after the first quarter and then a 13-point lead going into the first half. But the talent won out, and the fact that the Lakers didn't have much talent coming off the bench, and the Dallas Mavericks continually kept playing their rotation players, Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, Derek Lively, Klay Thompson, etc. It wasn't good in that second half. Third quarter was kind of disappointing, 31-20, but it was the fourth quarter that told the entire story, as the Lakers just put guys out there that were overmatched, and they lost 37-8 in that fourth quarter. At one time, I think it was 34-2. Let me go ahead and see the last. I would say 30-4. 30-4. I'm sorry, at one point in time. But yes, it was 30. Ended up being 37-8. They were outscored. And the Lakers, in the end, got destroyed in that second half as a whole, and they lose 121-94. Wanted to go ahead and make sure you guys go ahead and check out us as well, the Lakerholics crew at Lakerholics.com. Of course, Joe at Simblades with a Y.com. And for your Dodgers coverage, go to, of course, to playback.tv/the Joe Sorrell Experiment. And then for all your Lakers games, right there for you at the Lakers Fast Break on playback as well. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Truly kind of disappointed the way it worked out as far as the second half is concerned. I don't think Gabe will start. I don't know where you would start him at best. I don't exactly know where. Would you start him over Austin Reaves? Would you start him over Luka Doncic? Because he plays the guard position, and I think they're pretty set at that guard position best. So I have no idea where you would start him at. But it looks like at this point in time, Rui Hashimura will be one starter alongside Jared Vanderbilt at this point. From what I've been seeing and hearing as far as what may go down at the start of the season. But it is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for listening. The Lakers unfortunately lose 121-94 here in Vegas. They fall to 1-4 on the exhibition season with one more game to go before the start of the season. As far as the exhibition season, one more chance to go ahead and try and get a win out of it, but we'll see what happens. Best League said 3-guard lineup could work when LeBron is out. I'm sure they'll float that from time to time, Best League, but you don't want to start as far as your starting lineup with that right now. So yeah, you want to put some size in there, and Jared Vanderbilt is 6'8". If whatever you are on Vandal Hill or you're not on Vandal Hill, at least he is 6'8". So definitely not have Gabe Vincent right now in that starting lineup. So that I don't see that happening. Juan, what's going on, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. And what was yesterday's excuse when we played our starters and the Suns didn't? No, there's no excuse. As far as it's concerned, the Lakers looked great in that first half in Phoenix and fell apart in that third quarter. And again, as the scrubs came in, just no support from them, and it just shows the lack of depth on this team. And anybody who is concerned with the depth and lack thereof. Just shows that why there's some concerns out there. For it, Bloodhound says Lakers will have to win games 145-140. Yeah, the defense is not that great right now. As you saw, Marcus Smart last night couldn't contribute very much to the team overall. Tried to be a little bit active on defense, but you saw what he was like. He was really nothing on offense, 0 for 0. And you saw there. And of course, we know about Vando and his lack of offensive ability, but defensively, hopefully that those guys can key a defense that will be able to at least keep us somewhere in the top 20 in the defense, because our offense even without LeBron lineup can be efficient enough to hopefully help Luka win some games. But how many is obviously going to be a question as we head into the season. Search and Destroy says, I'm concerned with the coach. Yeah, I agree with you, Serge, because JJ, especially after what we saw tonight, how do you let that stand? How do you just not put your starters back in the game or do something, to send a message? You just let this happen and let them roll all over you in that second half. Even if you got scrubs out there, you just do something to go ahead and put some life into this team, because it got the air sucked out of the T-Mobile Arena when it comes to the Lakers in that second half, and especially in that fourth quarter. That was terrible. Dwight Smith says, why did we lose the game? Well, again, it's just a matter of talent. The Dallas Mavericks had a lot of their starting and their rotation guys out there in that second half, and the Lakers didn't. And it's just a matter of talent, and the Lakers just don't have a great base to draw from. And for a team that had one of the worst benches in the league last year, they did make a couple of additions, but it's clear that they need something more, quite a bit more, in order to go ahead and try to remain competitive in the league. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, I have my concerns about how much pressure we're going to put on Luka to be able to play at such a high level when you see output like this from the rest of the roster. Derek says JJ Redick's scheme looks so exposed. Yeah, it just seemed like a lot of issues there, but also a lot of effort issues as well. I'm seeing, especially in transition. Transition defense is still something that the team has to address on a better basis, because it just both in Phoenix last night and in Las Vegas tonight, it was really much of a problem as well. Besley says JJ is a noob. Yep, JJ is, again, if he doesn't get off to a good start, if there's going to be issues there, there's going to be some I guess concerns, because with all the heat that we put on Darvin Ham and for whatever he did, and how, if you like him or don't like him, in his second year, he was already starting to feel the heat from us and from other outlets and from the media and from the fan base. And, comparative to JJ, and JJ gets an extension instead. So where the confidence they didn't have in Darvin Ham, they suddenly have in JJ. And I don't see why as of yet. I don't see why. Dwight Smith says next man up, Gerald. Yeah, well, the next man up, unfortunately, didn't do so good, because, again, great first half for the Lakers, especially with an undermanned squad and several players out. During the game, Gabe Vincent early in the game, just like he did previously, Golden State started the game real hot. 6 of 11 overall from 3, 4 from the line, 22 points for him. Jackson Hayes was available for a couple lobs. Did have a push shot I saw that he banked, that he should have called banked on. That was kind of funny to watch, but 12 points and 10 rebounds for him. Jared Vanderbilt, again, just that you got to make sure that his defense stays on point, because it is a concern. He only played 13 minutes, but he did get the knee into the thigh. So he stayed out a great portion of the game, only played 13 minutes, scored 5 points. Rui Hashimura at times looked solid. Still driving to the basket's an issue for him. Was 1 of 6 on threes, which is uncharacteristic for him, but did have 19 points. Of the bench guys that came on, RJ Davis, 4 of 10. In that first half, he looked pretty smooth and solid. That didn't quite look so good in that second half as the Lakers were getting destroyed. But 10 points for him. Yeah, Dalton Connect, though. I do want to focus again, and I know this is beating it like a dead horse at this time, but 3 of 12 overall in 34 minutes, 1 of 9 from 3, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, but 1 of 9 from 3. And the defense and the toughness was something I kidded with no joker on, and it didn't look really good at all. So, yeah, like I said earlier, exactly, Serge. When he got blocked by AD, he shows the ball too much on his drives. You really know where the ball is going to be at when he starts to put it up there, and just absolutely just gets it blocked or misses the layups more frequently than I would like. Besley said Frank Vogel was so great and they disrespected him. Well, he's on Dallas now, right there for him. Phil Handy was on the staff too, so it's all ex-Lakers right there for you. Nibel, how you doing, my friend? Great to have you back. Are you impressed with this performance? Gabe scoring in the first quarter, then our bench proceeding to score 6 points in the fourth quarter. Gabe has had a good first halves in the preseason. He's really done well in the first half of this, and also that Golden State. So I give him a lot of credit. Obviously, he has a lot on the line because he'll be a free agent after the season. I'd like to see him be able to hold that consistency throughout 4 quarters. We've seen in both the Golden State and today's game where it kind of fades away a little bit in that second half. We saw it starting to fade away with Gabe, but again, another solid performance in the first half for him, a really good performance, and I'm hopeful he can transfer that energy, that positive energy that he's been playing with in these first halves. I'm hoping he'll be able to transfer that energy and that same kind of consistency into the season, and hopefully be some type of consistent help for the Lakers, which is something he has never been. Consistent help for the Lakers in his entire Lakers career so far. Derek, what's going on again? Gerald, when you got Luka, Doncic, LeBron James, DeAndre Ayton, Austin Reaves, JJ Redick, better get off to a good start. He may not make it to the end of his contract. I'm guessing right now, if I had to bet, and I'm here in Vegas, Derek, I would bet against him making out through all the years on his contract, but that's just me. That's just me. Search and destroy again. The king of mods right there for you. All our mods are awesome, and they learn well from the mage himself. Search and destroy right there. Thank you so much again for joining me. It is the Lakers, unfortunately, getting destroyed in that second half, 121-94. Just a disappointing effort, even if it was the scrubs playing a lot of the rotation guys from Dallas. Still, you expect a better effort because they held up pretty good in that first half. And, it was obviously going to come back to the means in the second half if they continue that up. But to this point where you lose 68-28, let me tell you that again for the second half of tonight's game. 68 for Dallas, 28 for the Lakers. Getting outscored 40 points is inexcusable. Jay, what's going on, my friend? Need more from Dalton Connect. Oh, well, for his very livelihood, we need more because he's been absolutely terrible since the trade. Whatever's gone in his head, his shot has gone away. Even when he got a double-digit game the other day, he did it on a lot of shots, and he still is one of the worst defenders in the league when I see him. And I know No Joker was joking earlier on playback talking about he wanted to see Dalton become the enforcer in this game. And then we both watched as he got easily pushed out of the way and he got pushed actually out of bounds on a play that he was defending. And the other guy got a layup. And we were just going, oh, so much for the enforcer. He's just soft. He's just so soft. And I don't know. He is it's just so disappointing because we enjoyed watching Dalton Connect so much on this show. And it was just so disappointing to not see him being able to produce like this. Jeremy, will a cow be joining us? Are you calling the cow Joe the Cow? If that's the case, Joe the Cow may be joining us. I don't know. I sent him out the link. It's up to them to answer it. I don't know if John Costa's coming in here. He said he might make it tonight. So it'd be great to have them aboard. But yeah, Jeremy, I'm sorry you all had to witness that garbage product we displayed tonight. Yeah, absolutely. It was a garbage product in the second half. And the first half had a lot of promise, but unfortunately the second half had no follow through. And just very disappointing indeed. Trayvon, what's going on, my friend? The way they handled the preseason and the circus I don't see a good season. The only thing I can give you guys as solace is this. And you guys are all experienced. I'm sure you guys have all watched many a season now. There are teams, and I'm not saying this is one, and I don't want to say this is one. There are teams that have had really poor, sometimes winless exhibition seasons. The Lakers have had that before, where they've really just looked bad in the preseason. Then somehow the light gets turned on at the start of the season, and then you see the actual product come out. I'm going to hope that that's going to be the case, but do I have confidence in what I'm saying? I don't know. Again, I'm in the process of evaluating my teams right now for my preseason predictions. And by the way, if you have preseason predictions, 1 to 15 for both the East and the West, your NBA Finals teams and who's going to win, plus your Coach of the Year, MVP of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year, if you want to go ahead and put your thoughts into that, go ahead and hit me up, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. Send your predictions into me. I'm going to read all of them off. We've already gotten some already. I'm going to read all of them off on our Monday season preview special that we're going to have on Monday night. So I'm looking forward to that. On Sunday night, for the Lakers weekend show, I do want to mention that we are going to start an ESPN Fantasy Basketball League. I don't know how many players are interested. If you're interested, let me know in the chat or let me know in the notes that I put up on the channel. I need to find out how many teams I have, but I do want to start a draft for a fantasy basketball league Sunday night. If we get enough players, we'll see if we can come up with a prize for the winner. It's going to be a Roto League, and it's going to be a year-long season-long Roto League on that. So just want to let you guys know. If you're interested, let us know right there in the chat. and I'll make the information available. I just need to know how many players are interested to know how many teams it's going to be for 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20. Basically, what happens if it's going to go past 12 and there's a lot of people still interested, I'll make 2 leagues available for that, you guys. So we'll see what happens. But Nibel says, what a joke, Rob and JJR. Nibel, I know you're kind of new to what this show. I will tell you that in the past, we've not been the biggest fans of Rob. And the JJ hiring, we were always evaluating. And it's nights like these, which are really frustrating to us to see what happened. And we were talking about it earlier on our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. We were talking about how frustrating it is because Nick mentioned to me, Laker Nick, big shout out to my good friend Laker Nick, and big shout out to everyone, Sean, Vari, Mark, Joe, Henry, who were all a great part, and then everybody else that was watching as well. No Joker, Tough, Rough, the whole team that was watching the playback with us. But it was made mention to our awesome friend Laker Nick. He mentioned that THT was playing overseas, and that's just one of the things that irks as far as what happened with THT. And you see what happened with Caruso when Caruso wanted to be a part of the Lakers and they committed to THT. It's just so hard to get on the Rob bandwagon because for every Luka, there's another side of the story. It's just so many ups and downs. And JJ, again, we'll have to wait and see, but it's evaluations like we saw tonight, and the team just quit. The team absolutely quit. I don't care if they're scrubs or whatnot. They quit, especially the scrubs. These guys are supposed to be playing for their very NBA lives. A lot of those guys, from Dalton Connect on down, RJ Davis.
You're awesome.
Williams kid. All these players that you saw in the third and fourth quarter are playing for their NBA futures, and they didn't seem like they were playing like it. They quit on us tonight, and it was really just sad to see. Drip Show, what's up? Absolutely. Guys, again, if you want quality work, like you see right above me, right here, go ahead and hit up Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Really quality stuff. You have an idea that you'd like to get as a gift for someone else or make for yourself in the sports or pop culture world or something like that. You just have an idea that you would like to see be made into a product, t-shirt, hat, pillow, canvas art, what have you. Drip Show is the man to go to. He just does such an amazing job. Really, again, please support him. And if you can, it is greatly appreciated by me as well. Best says Lakers Fast Break was canceling that Mark Williams trade a mistake considering this effect they had. Absolutely. In the hindsight, it looks to appear a mistake unless you use that first round draft pick. It's the fact the first round draft pick is the key, Best League. If they utilize that on something else, I mean, we can look back and woulda, shoulda, coulda. But Mark Williams, I guess he's going to start the season with the Suns, so he looks like he's healthy enough. But again, it could be something that we have to keep on monitoring. But yeah, it's messed up Dalton Connect really badly. Rodell, what's up? What the hell happened to Dalton? His game, there's no excuse. I cannot defend him. I know you and I were going back and forth. I think at that time we were talking back and forth on him. I have no excuse. I have no excuse. Something happened to him when he came back to the team. I don't know what. Maybe it'll come out. But yeah, even on the day that he, earlier, like the last, was it 2 games ago when he got into double figures? It's still on a lot of shots taken. It's not efficient. He is not an efficient shooter like he once was. And for a guy who plays absolutely terrible defense, he needs to shoot 40% from behind the arc to stay in the league, to stay, be part of rotation, to be a part of the NBA. He needs to shoot at a high level. Otherwise, he's going to be an afterthought before you know it. Trayvon says the problem is after our first 7 players, the rest of the team is full of G League players. These are other teams. Yeah, you're right, Trayvon. I couldn't agree with you anymore. JJ, I appreciate you becoming a member. Thank you so much, JJ Jadeway, for becoming a member. Truly appreciate it. Once again, this is the Lakers Fast Break. Jeremy says, Jerry, any positive we can take from this game? Again, you have to look at the first half. Gabe Vincent being a little bit more of a scoring threat because this is the second game. The Golden State game he also scored well as well in that first half. Started to go away and get away from him in the second half, but the first half, you do want to take a positive from that as far as how they held their own against the Dallas starters and front line and the rotation players in that first half. So that's pretty much the only positives I could take away, Jeremy. Just like on yesterday's game. Yesterday, they still had a limited roster, but they did have Luka and Austin, and they were able to take control of that first half. And again, the repeat of yesterday where the second half just totally got away. Jeremy, where's Costa been? Well, I did mention over the weekend, John Costa announced his engagement to his wife, or future wife-to-be, excuse me. So I know that he was very happy about his engagement. He said he was going to stop by today, maybe, but he hopefully will be back by the time the season starts. Absolutely. Trayvon, we spent 2 first-round picks on JHS and DK that could have went for an impact player. Well, I know Rodell, who's in the chat, and I went back and forth on Podziemski, but I mean, Podziemski may not be the most consistent guy, but he's in his 3rd year now, and he looks like he's getting there. I didn't say he's got there, but at least he's showing a lot more than JHS and DK have yet to do at this point. Eli, what's up, my friend? As a Suns fan, I was a fan of the ball, Mom. Yes, you had your day, and my best to you and your sons. I know that hopefully it'll work out for you. Guys still need a point guard there in Phoenix. I'm kind of worried putting so much usage and pressure on Booker to do so much for your team, but we'll see what happens there. And again, with the Lakers, it's a matter of depth, and I'm very concerned about it. Thank you, Jeremy. Truly appreciate it. Said, well said, Jerry. Derek G says Gerald Kobe would have been chewing players out on the bench. Yeah, it's just disappointing. They quit. They quit in that second half, and they quit in that fourth quarter. Once they lost the lead in that third quarter, and it got closer, it was to be expected because they're playing their starters. They're playing Cooper Flagg. They're playing Anthony Davis. They're playing PJ Washington. They're playing Derek Lively. They're playing Thompson. They're playing their heavy rotation players. So it was expected that they were going to lose the lead when you're playing guys like RJ Davis, Koloko, et cetera. That's to be expected. Nate Williams, Nick Smith Jr., Anton Watson. I mean, these guys going up against the starters for the Mavericks, you expect them to lose the lead sometime in the second half. I get it. But that fourth quarter to just basically quit out there, there's no excuse for it. I have no excuse. These are supposed to be NBA players. Even if you're a G League player or guys that are fighting for a roster spot, there's absolutely no excuse. Those guys alone at the end of the roster spot trying to make an impression should be battling their hearts out and be fighting their hearts out, and to get beaten down like that 37-8 is just absolutely abysmal. And all those guys that were on that floor in that fourth quarter should be embarrassed by their play. Tony, what's going on? I'm down for Fantasy League. Okay. Tony, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the link tomorrow. I'm going to put the link tomorrow in the notes section for this channel tomorrow on where to go and sign up. So you guys will have an easy place to sign up, and we'll do the draft Sunday night when we do a show. During a show, I don't know the time yet. I'll plan the time tomorrow, and I'll have the date for the draft set up already for you guys when I set up the league tomorrow. Again, if we get enough guys, if we get enough guys playing, we'll monitor it on a regular basis here on the show, and we'll go ahead and I can see if I can work with Drip Show on a prize for you guys as well. So just wanted to go ahead and let you know. Jeremy said no smart. He wasn't going to play back to back. I had announced already this week. JJ had said that those guys, Marcus Smart and Luka, were only going to play 2 of the last 3 games. Marcus Smart played last night, Jeremy. He played 20 minutes, 0 of 0, 0 points, 1 assist, and he was active on defense, but he did look kind of out of shape. And I'll just put it that. But yeah, he was nothing on the offensive end last night when he played, Jeremy. Jeremy said someone put out an APB on Dalton's game. Yeah, it's pretty bad at this point. Jeremy says, I just think we need to use those warm-up games to build it. Yep. Well, it's hard to build up momentum when you get outscored 37-8 in that fourth quarter. That is just embarrassing. JY, what's going on, my friend? Is JJ implementing a system in the offense 5 or out pick and roll, which is no creativity? G. I agree with you. Last year, they kind of bought in for the first half of the season. JJ's motion offense, get that ball moving, find a spot, find a weakness in the defense, then make sure you're getting an efficient open look at the basket. And I just don't see that. I just don't see that right now. And it's just disappointing that we're seeing just a standard pick and roll, do this. It's just, you can telegraph what they're doing right now on the offensive end, and it's just disappointing to see. I would like to see Luka and Ayton play a little bit more together, as to initiate that offense. If you want to go hard into the pick and roll, that's fine, but I want to see those two get more time on the floor together to do that. JY says Bronny sitting out. He knows he has a spot unlocked. Can't wait until his dad goes in him. JY, tonight he did have he turned an ankle supposedly in Phoenix. I didn't see it, but he turned an ankle in Phoenix, so he was held out of tonight's game. It's supposed to be minor, not a big deal, but yeah, he's guaranteed for 3 years, JY. 3 years we have him guaranteed with a 4th-year team option. So it's definitely disappointing. Trust me. We could go on all day about Bronny James, but on the bright side about Bronny James, there is another great video by Awful Coaching. I'm giving him free pub because if you want to cheer up your day after you watch this, as far as the Lakers are concerned, watch Awful Coaching and watch him rip on Bronny a new one. If you're not a big Bronny fan, in the midst of all the screaming that he does point out some flaws, some real flaws in Bronny's game, which make you go, yeah, he's right. And a lot of it is based off of effort with Bronny, and he points that out very, very astutely. Neville says Ryan Nembhard, I think he's been pretty solid. He was great in Summer League. Jaden Harden, Dennis Smith Jr., Powell, so much depth the Mavs have. Yeah, but they're not standouts. That's the only thing, Nibel. They're quality guards. I think they're quality, like NBA level guards. I just don't know if they get you to that next level. And I was mentioning this to No Joker with Dallas. They went 4 for 23. The reason why they were down in that first half is they were 4 for 23 from 3. And I'm just, if Thompson is not hot or PJ Washington is not shooting well, does that dictate the rest of the shooting for the team? And that's going to be a concern, especially if AD's chucking up threes, because we all know that I have said AD is not a 3-point shooter. But if you're giving him looks at the three-pointer, that's just wasting a lot of possessions there for you, because he's never been an efficient 3-point shooter. Appreciate it again, Serge. Great to have you here. This should be embarrassing. Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Tonight was very embarrassing in that fourth quarter. Derek says, Gerald, do you think the years and father of time has started to catch up on LeBron? Yeah. I mean, I'm 56. There are days where I feel all of 56. And those injuries and things I did in my youth, Derek, as you get older, you start to regret some of the things that you did during your younger years when you thought you felt invincible, and it starts to add up, and the miles may vary, but the toll, you have to pay the toll at some point. Everybody has to pay the toll at some point in time. And as we're seeing with LeBron's sciatica, it might just be the case. And we'll see how much and how long he's out. And it's going to be very interesting to see how far down the road LeBron will be before he'll play. Will he play before his birthday? There's even a question. Will he be able to come back to the lineup before his 41st birthday. People have talked about Christmas. He could be out as long as, but again, it's another 2-3 weeks before we get an evaluation on him and how long he'll be out. So really wondering how long it's going to be. Best League says pay. Oh, I hope. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Between you and Xbox, what the heck's going on there? And Sports Baby, of course, getting this 2 cents in there. Serge says, yes, I am. 1 year older than you, my friend. 55. There you go. 55. I can't drive. 55. Jerry, you look great for your age. I thought 49 max. Thank you, Jeremy. Very kind of you say, but I am 56. I appreciate. I get told that, despite the gray hair, I do get told I look a little bit younger than my age. So anybody says that, that's fine. It's just in the Filipino culture, for all the Filipino fans out there, it was the day that hit me about my age was going to Seafood City or going to places where a lot of Filipinos are and being referred to as po by the end of their sentence. Because if you are an elder, you're referred to at the end of the sentence as po. P-O. And I'm just like, once they started me calling me Po, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm old. But I don't know, Joe. He was there on playback, Gregory. Maybe he's on another phone call. I don't know. I send them out the link, Gregory, to behind the scenes stuff here, guys. Before I set up, as I'm setting up, before I make it, everybody know that I'm doing a post game, etc., etc. I send them out a link. Usually during the fourth quarter, I send them out a link to join me on the show. So the John Costas of the world, the Sean Grices of the world, the Joe Soros of the world, they all get a link to join the show. So Mark, if he's available, but I know he's working. Vari, he could join the show. Yeah, they all got a link. So if they want to hop on, they're more than happy to. But, when you're doing this stuff on YouTube and it's voluntary, I appreciate anyone who is jumping on the show, Gregory, that can. They don't get paid for it, and I don't get paid very much for it. So I am just truly grateful anytime that these guys, no matter what Joe and I argue, or no matter what Joe and I have our stuff and whatnot, I am still grateful for him taking the time out of his day to go ahead and stop by anytime he can. The same thing goes for every single person that jumps on live. You guys are doing it because you love the Lakers, or you have a passion for basketball and you have a passion to explain that to everyone out there. I just appreciate them doing it. Derek says, if we do not get to the Western Conference Finals this year, I think Rob Pelinka needs to go. We need a general manager that's going to be aggressive and get this team. You know what? You're preaching to the choir. Preaching to the choir, my friend Derek, because I wholeheartedly support you on that. The question is, when Jeannie padded Rob Pelinka's contract and extended him, when Rob Pelinka therefore extended JJ, I understand Mark Walter is and co. You got to remember, there's not just Mark Walter buying this team, but Mark Walter and his group, led by Mark Walter, bought this team for 10 to 12 billion. Still hasn't been decided yet how much is the exact total price tag. You just think, okay, we're just going to get rid of you guys. We're going to bring our new guys, whatnot, and that's it. But to some owners, all those years and all those millions of dollars that they'll have to end up paying, some are bothered by it. If the Lakers don't get it done as far as having a good playoff run this year, I would be on board with that, because I think that now would be a good time to maybe change directions, because at the end of the season, you have a lot of players that are coming off the books. You get another first round pick. I believe the Lakers will get at draft day. They will have available 3 picks, first round picks. If they keep their first round, if they don't trade their first round pick, their only first round pick they can. And on draft day, I think they'll have 3 first round picks that they can trade at that point in time. So it's a possibility they can have a lot of cap space, and they can have some draft picks and a maneuverability on that as well. So we'll see. And that would be a good time for a new GM to come in here and build his own plan going forward, if it doesn't work out with what's going on this season. Because I've said it from the beginning, guys, this summer, when you have Luka Doncic going into his prime, and his prime, guys, starts now, you need to have every year be a must-win year, and you need to build for that. And the Lakers, they did some nice things around the edges. The three guys that they picked up are nice. Again, low risk, potentially better reward opportunities, but they aren't game changers. They aren't life changers. And DeAndre Ayton is the only one who could possibly change the course for the Lakers in such a positive direction. But we'll see what happens. I'm not convinced that is going to happen. I'm all over the place on this team. I'm all over the place because of the Western Conference. The Western Conference looks loaded, guys. And I've said in the recent days, I'm thinking third. I'm thinking seventh. I'm thinking fifth. I'm thinking sixth. I'm thinking fourth. I'm driving on the road, guys, because I got to go ahead and put my predictions in as well, because some of these guys are already doing it. Lakers Fast Break at yahoo.com, and they're predicting for both the West and East Conference. I really am, after number 2, it is really so hard to come up with. I've never really had it to this extent before, where it's so hard to pinpoint 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, because you can make a case and a scenario for each and every team in that equation. So again, it is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But Luka has to have a masterful year, an MVP year, and that he has to put this team on the back, because you guys see that this team cannot take injuries, cannot sustain many injuries, cannot sustain any more issues of depth, because they just don't have as much depth as these other teams. But they also don't have the one key thing that we have, a Luka that is primed and ready to go. So yes, Joe, if he's joining, come on, man. Come on, tell us about your thoughts. You were there tonight for playback. Once again, the Lakers lose with a terrible second half, where they got outscored in the second half 68-28. That's right, they got outscored by 40 in the second half to lose 121-94. The Lakers are now 1-4 on the season. Their final preseason game of this period is on Friday night against Sacramento. We'll have it for you on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, and then of course the post game on Friday night right here at the Lakers Fast Break. But yes, what's going on right there for you? Yes, welcome to the post game right here. Of course, Serge doing his thing right there. Besley said this season is close call, even if second place is on the air. I think the first two in the West are. That's one thing I don't have a problem with. That's one thing I'm pretty crystal clear on my top 2 in the Western Conference, and I'm not deviating much from what most of the analysts say on those two. It's the 3 through 11, 12 teams that's afterwards. 3 through 12 is really, I have to sit down and do some hard thinking, because I'm thinking about it when I'm driving the car, and I come up with a different answer each and every time. Jeremy says, Ox, okay, guess he can't be there tonight. No worries, no Joe tonight, but you still got me. Gerald Glassford, thanks again for watching this. We truly appreciate you joining us. I guess John Costa is probably not going to be able to make it as well, looks like, but I'm here for you. Wrapping things up, I guess, on a night where the Lakers really stunk it up here in Vegas. They roll snake eyes. I know I usually put that vernacular when the Lakers lose here in Vegas, but I'm going to have to probably put up one more time. They did roll snake eyes as they lose by 40 in the second half to get beat pretty substantially, 121-94. That's 121-94. And again, I didn't expect the Lakers to keep that lead in the second half, because you're playing guys that probably are not even going to be in the rotation. Guys are not going to probably even be on the team in some cases, against guys that are starting or going to be starting 1 week from now for Dallas and be heavily in their rotation. But the thing is, to really give up like that, especially in that fourth quarter, was really sad. Indeed. Jeremy, yes, that's the last thing I'm going to cover for the show. In fact, I'll start into it right now. 2 things I wanted to mention, both in Sacramento. First thing is that Russell Westbrook did sign. I I had mentioned last night, I thought the rosters for all these teams were all set for the most part, and that there wasn't going to be a place for him now, but I thought he would sign at some point in time this season. I was waiting for Stefan to stop on by, but Stefan, I guess, is not going to be here tonight because he was asking about it. And so I noticed, though, again, and this is something I didn't know, because Sacramento, by signing him, signed him for $3.6 million. Keep that number in mind, guys, because it leads into what I was thinking, what I didn't know until I saw what happened when they signed him. Russell Westbrook signed for $3.6 million. Basically, what happens is they're now in the tax for now. If the season goes awry, if they just need to make one move and they're back under the tax. And why do you want to be under the tax? If you're a bad team, not only do you not have to pay the tax if you're under the tax, you get a residual amount at the end of the season from every team that does pay taxes. For instance, example, if the Lakers a couple seasons ago had made one move and gotten under the tax a couple seasons ago, and I think you guys, long-time listeners, remember this when I was talking about it, the Lakers would have gotten about $14 million, I think, was their payout from as a collective whole for that the teams that paid taxes. So if Sacramento is a losing team and it's a wash and they go ahead into tanking mode, et cetera, they just have to move off one contract by the end of the season and they'll be back under the tax. So it's not that big of a deal, but keep that $3.6 million in mind, because I found out through Bobby Marks at ESPN on Twitter, he mentioned that part of the tax, or part of their cap right now, has two bonuses, for one for Domantas Sabonis, I believe, and the other for Zach LaVine, that are most likely unreachable. Whether I don't know what the exact parameters of their bonuses are. It's what they have to do to reach it, if it's a number of games or if it's a certain amount of points, et cetera, or if it's sometimes tied into a title run or strong playoff run. Well, those two, what he mentioned, were most likely unattainable bonuses, add up to, you guessed it, $3.6 million. So basically what they're assuming is that $3.6 million is not going to happen in bonuses for them. If that's the case, I think even with Russell Westbrook's salary, it gets them just barely under the cap. But if they need to be more sure, they can always, like I said, make a trade later in the season and they'll be definitely under the cap. But if those bonuses aren't attained by Sabonis and by LaVine, then I think his $6 million salary, I'm correcting myself from earlier, will allow the team to just be under the tax so they can go ahead and reap the benefits from that. But the interesting thing, and the thing I wanted to mention on that, Jeremy, is that why in God's green earth, if you had thought about this before, if you had this already on the books before, why didn't you just get him in sooner, a couple weeks ago when training camp opened? Why did you wait until just before the start of the season, if this is what you were thinking about doing all along? Because we had speculated, and a lot of people have speculated, that the Kings were his most likely landing spot because Houston cannot afford to pay him to get him on the roster right now, even with the injury to Fred VanVleet. So if that's the case, Sacramento was the most likely destination. Why did they wait until the Thursday before the season started to go ahead and, put him on the roster? Why didn't they get him in a lot sooner if they already knew what the cap gymnastics were going to be to go ahead and sign him? So, yeah, that's strange indeed. Jeremy, yes, Malcolm Brogdon. He actually played the other night for the Knicks. He started for their exhibition game, their last exhibition game. Scored, I think, 9 points or something like that. Retired. Just suddenly up and retired. That's nice, when you could just go say, what, I don't feel like doing this anymore. I don't feel like going through another season. I've made enough money. I've done enough things in my life as far as the NBA is concerned. I've scratched that NBA itch. More power to him if he can walk away from it. If he knows it's the right call, that's awesome. Not enough players in the league don't know. they might know it's time to go, but they don't want to go. They want to hang on to every single last NBA thread. How many times have we seen over the years, Jeremy, players hanging on, ring chasing, or just hanging on when you know they're not good enough to play in the league anymore, but they have a name, they're a veteran, and they hold up a spot for maybe someone with yet more potential that's younger, that wants a chance, that could earn a chance, maybe for a better future if they were given the opportunity. So Malcolm Brogdon maybe realized that he was most likely, according to what was said earlier today on reports, that he was going to probably make the roster for the New York Knicks. So he would have been like the 13th, 12th guy in the rotation, but maybe he realized, you know what, I just don't want to do this anymore. Let me go ahead and free up my spot for someone else. And I credit him for being honest with himself for doing just that. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sports baby. I don't get the Kings. I really don't, because Russell Westbrook, you could have done this 2 weeks ago. If you're just doing cap gymnastics, you could have done this 2 weeks ago and brought him into camp from the very beginning. But you just think, okay, you already know what you got with Russell Westbrook, and you know that it helps you. It helps your teammates find a rapport with that player coming in, especially if you're going to give him minutes, 20, 25 minutes a game still, which I expect, guys. I expect them to play him. So whether or not it's good or bad for the team, we'll have to wait and see. But you know my thoughts already in previous times with Westbrook. He's a certain type of player. He's a roller coaster. He's, for every up he does, there's a down. For every good thing he does, there's a bad thing too. That's why he's no longer playing. Well, he actually bet on himself and walked out on Denver. But I don't think they were too sad to see him go after what they experienced last season. But again, when it comes to Westbrook, would have been nice if you got him into camp 2 weeks sooner. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, credit Malcolm Brogdon for understanding what he is doing at this age. He's still a young man. He's still, what, 31, 32? You know, he's still a guy that could go out and do a great many things in this world. And I wish him and his family all the best. Absolutely. Sports Bar Baby says, what's LeBron's third hard decision going to be? You know, I don't even care at this point, Sports Baby. Just going back and forth with one individual on the second decision was enough for me. By the way, I also wanted to mention as well, the Sacramento Kings, they signed Keegan Murray to a rookie extension, 5 years, $140 million. I don't know if you guys caught that earlier, but 5 years, $140 million. It's not as large as some of the other extensions that were made for guys like Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, etc. But, Paul Banchero. But yes, it is 5 years, $140 million he signed for. I'm not, how should I say it? I'd probably say I would not have signed him for that amount. I don't know if he's a close to 30 million, because that's what, 28 million. That's about 28 million-ish right there per year. Is he worth 28 million in your eyes? I mean, I guess to Sacramento, who doesn't have an abundance of talent on that roster, that's young. Maybe that's something they just felt like they were inclined to do, but I don't know. Is he play at a $28 million level? I don't know. My instinct tells me no. He hasn't played that level yet, but we'll wait and see. Xbox, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Again, great to have you here. Great to have you part of what we're doing at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Malcolm Brogdon. Thank you for bringing Malcolm Brogdon up as far as Keegan Murray and then the signing of Russell Westbrook. I was waiting for Stephon, but Stephon, I guess, is not going to be here tonight. Like Joe says he can't make it in tonight as well. Unfortunately, guys aren't here, but you got me. I'm here for another few minutes. So if you guys have any thoughts on the game, again, what the Lakers might do on Friday coming up here, because they do have one more game left against Sacramento. Irony of ironies, what I just talked about with Sacramento. Their game against them is on Friday night, 7:30 p.m. It's on NBA TV, although we got you covered for 20 VIPs out there at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break if you want to head over there on Friday night and join us then. But again, it's been an evening where here in Vegas, the Lakers unfortunately had a pretty good, solid first half. You could take a lot of positives from that. The second half was a disaster as they got outscored by 40, including a 37-8 run in the fourth quarter as they unfortunately lose 121-94. Again, that second half tells me a lot about where this team is at right now, but I'm hoping for better things come the start of the season. Nibel says, let's see things. Let's see things. There we go right here. Let's see if things do end up going bad and losing the first round again. What's our next steps? Nibel, you know what? If the Lakers have a, let's say they get at sixth place in the Western Conference and they're out in the first round, I would, if I was Mark Walter, wholesale changes. And I know Joe will be on this show screaming for changes to be made, starting with the front office. Jeannie gone, Rob gone, JJ gone, because that's unacceptable with Luka Doncic. You have to provide Luka a platform for success. And it just seems like the Lakers, I know they call it gap years. It almost seems like a gap year, the way the Lakers are approaching it, where they want their cake and eat it too. We want to field a decent team, get some players in who might help the Lakers out, may surprise. If Luka goes and plays at a supersonic level, pardon the NBA pun there, things can happen. But we're not going to commit long-term to anyone else outside of Luka, and we're going to leave our cupboard dry so that way maybe we can get some pieces in later, which is fine. Unless you have a guy like Luka who you should be going all in his prime. He has gotten in the best shape of his life. I know that's a vernacular they throw out at Media Day every single time, and I'm the best shape. But he looks in incredible shape. And yesterday you saw something that a lot of people were hoping for, efficiency from Luka. He looked like he was total control out there as far as what was going on against Phoenix in that first half. 22 points. Him and Austin combined for 40 in that first half. Really just look like two guys that could really dominate at times on the offensive end for the Lakers. And it just seems like that you had resources, you had things that you could have got ahead and been able to trade. You had desirable things as far as contracts that are coming up, freeing up cap space for other teams that you could promote to other teams as far as being trade pieces for other trade pieces that you could get in, but you chose not to do it. Search says wasting a prime year of Luka is criminal. Absolutely, Search. And we'll wait and see if the Lakers do end up first round and out, or somehow just making the play in and getting booted out there. Yeah, it will be a failure of a season. Jeremy, who do you think, says Jerry, who do you think envision the Sixers? I would love Tim Connelly, who's built the teams in Denver and Minnesota. That's the first place I'd start, Jeremy. I don't know what his status is right now. I think he signed an extension with Minnesota. He was a free agent in the summer, but I think he re-signed with Minnesota. I don't know for how long. It was a little bit unclear. I know, Jeremy, you said said Bob Myers, but he's been out there for a couple of years for ESPN. He's obviously a name that has won championships in the past. I know if you talk to people at Golden State, Bob Myers is not the most favorite name as far as is concerned because of some of the things that they've done as far as the draft choices, and some of them have kind of complained about how they built around Curry, but he does have a track record. And I do think he would be a step above what we see with Rob Pelinka. But I would go with Tim Connelly first, would be my suggestion if on that, because he's built two powerhouse teams currently in the Western Conference, and I think he could find a way to build a third if he was on the Lakers. Bloodhound, since he's right there for that reason alone, Bloodhound is exactly Jeremy. When you talk about Bob Myers, that's exactly what they talk about, because the Draymond Greens, the Steph Currys, The Klay Thompsons, I don't believe, if memory serves, were drafted under his watch. They may have been. I don't think they were. They may have been drafted under previous regimes, but he built. Credit him. He did build a team from there, despite drafting at times not the best. And every GM misses. Every GM has their misses in evaluating talent. Even Sam Presti, who I've praised at length on this show, I will freely admit, he has had some misses. I mean, Osman Dang, they traded 3 first-round draft picks for him in the same year that they got Jalen Williams in. Yeah, it's who got the extension for $240 million and who's the one still fighting for a roster spot. So there you go. SB says Bronny is there for another 3 years. No, right now it's 2. It's 2 more years plus a team option on the 3rd year. So yeah, maybe they want to appease, but I don't want it to get to that point. I don't even want to discuss that because that just hurts my brain when I remind myself that Bronny could be here, like you said, for 3 more years. Sports baby. Jeremy says Tim Connelly got extended through G, but that's why I thought maybe Bob. You know what? Again, though, in the game of the NBA, if Tim Connelly if he puts out feelers, if Rob is suddenly fired, and a GM, a highly respected GM, Tim Connelly or someone else, a Sam Presti, kind of puts out feelers that, hey, maybe I might want to go into that. They can ask permission from that team if they want to go ahead and if he wants to move to another team. That's only if you have to ask permission and et cetera on that. But I get what you're saying. But he did extend with the Timberwolves, but I do not know for how long. Yeah, Bloodhound said okay, he did draft it. I didn't think he drafted any of those players because I've heard that mentioned that they weren't his players. He did build around them enough to obviously bring a title, and then of course they got gifted when that bump of the salary cap, they got gifted Kevin Durant when that bump, which they will never have again, of the salary cap to that level, to slip in a Kevin Durant, which is the reason why they now more regulate the year-to-year bumps in salary cap for that. But yeah, he did help build a team that won those championships. Bloodhound says if the NBA lets the Kawhi thing slide, then Lakers can go over the cap in other ways. Yeah, there you go. That's all right. Let's just have our own company, guys. We'll call it Sorrow Inspiration. How about that? Instead of aspiration, we're going to have Sorrow Inspiration. We'll call it that. Absolutely. It'd be a totally legitimate business. Synblades. We'll funnel everything through Synblades. How about that? Yes, we'll funnel everything with Synblades. We'll have Giannis Antetokounmpo. We'll sign him to our team to a veterans minimum, and then somehow magically we'll funnel tens of millions of dollars each year for him to promote Synblades. Synblades with a Y.com. Absolutely. Sports Baby said they will give him a 3rd team option 100%. There you go. That free agency period was wild. Absolutely. That was a free for all back then. And yeah, you and I both know how it went for the Lakers, and I'll leave it at that. Sports Baby says, I'm guessing Mark Walter will give Bob Myers an offer he can't. I mean, yeah, you could throw cash at the deal. You could throw cash at it, which, probably what the Lakers will do, probably what Mark Walter will do once he gains the team. Obviously, the facilities, the training staff, the corporation as a whole, the Lakers corporation as a whole, will be expanded because Genie, has been described in a book that I'm going to be able to tell you guys about in just a matter of days. If you get a chance to read this book as I have, yeah, it tells you a lot about how frugal the organization has been. Mark Walter will throw a lot of money. I think he'll throw a lot of money at things, and not just on the court product, but off the court as well, that will improve the team's outlook going forward. And that's what I'm excited for the most. Jeremy said Ox Incorporated. Now let's just funnel all the questionable money through Synblades. Just put it through Synblades. It's good. we'll have so if you see Giannis Antetokounmpo playing for the Lakers and then pitching Simblades with a Y.com, you'll know what happened, Jeremy. There you go. Bloodhound said Presti is making $4.5 million. Masai was making $15 million a year. That's crazy, Bloodhound. That's absolutely crazy. I know that Masai did get them a championship, but he is nowhere in the ballpark, in my opinion, as a GM, as Presti. You've heard me, Bloodhound, now for quite a spell. Praise Sam Presti because of what he built, what the risks he took. He had a decent team in the bubble in 2020. He had, a playoff team in 2020. He basically dismantled that, and in a matter of 5 seasons, managed to not only build a huge cachet. Well, he actually did that beforehand. Started to do that beforehand with the SGA trade, the Kawhi trade, and I assume not the Paul George trade that brought in Kawhi to LA Clippers as well. He had already started that process. Sorry, with the Sam Hink, with the Hinkie reference there, but I'm just say this: even he has had his misses, but they're not as many. He's limited the amount of his misses, and he's been able to draft well. He's been able to bring in the right players at the right time, and he's been able to do it. Assign players to contracts that are, in a lot of cases, are team friendly. He just goes about things the way you want a GM to go about it in many cases, and it paid off into what the success they have now and the success they have going forward, because they'll be either a favorite or one of the co-favorites for years with all the talent that they have now and the draft picks that they have in the future they could throw at. And we talk about throwing cash at a problem. They could throw cash, players, and draft picks at any problem that comes up here in the foreseeable future, which is almost unprecedented. It's almost unprecedented, Bloodhound. I think you and I both would agree. This is almost unprecedented, the way a team has set up itself for the future going forward. I've never seen in all my years a team that has set itself up so great for years on end as the Oklahoma City Thunder are set up for. JY says the Lakers need a GM with connections, not a huge ego. No one wants to deal with. Yeah, actually, one person wants to deal with Rob. His name was Nico Harrison, because defense wins championships. Jeremy says surprised Bob hasn't gotten another GM job offer yet. Maybe he's not even searching for it, Jeremy. Maybe he wanted some time off to be with the family. Maybe he put the word through his agent that he wasn't looking for an opportunity and liked his ESPN gig and staying more home with his family, because you don't have to, when you're doing that, maybe you're off, you're out of the office a lot more often. You're home doing more things with family, and sometimes you can't replace that. And if he has financial security, maybe he's just doesn't have the itch or didn't have the challenge just yet. He's got to get the bug. Sometimes it's about the competitive edge. It goes away after you win so much and you become a little bit jaded with things going on. He left. He became an ESPN. Maybe at some point in time he'll get that itch back, and we'll see. I'm sure we'll see him in the league in the not too distant future, Jeremy. But I'm not that surprised, because again, it's a point where, again, he's not universally loved and praised like Bloodhound says. The draft choices are something he's been suspect on, but he has built winners. You have to give him credit for that. And again, it may be a lot of his decision making as well. Quabia says bring Mike Malone to the Lakers staff. I don't think Mike Malone would be an assistant coach on the Lakers, especially because he's said a lot of bad things about the Lakers. I'm not going to put it past him to ever be a coach on the Lakers, but it would have to be a head coach. I do not see him all of a sudden being the highest paid assistant coach in the NBA on the Lakers staff. I really don't think that would happen. He would probably want JJ spot if he ever comes to the Lakers, and I'll just leave it at that. If he ever decides to, because he's said a lot of bad things about the team and the organization in recent years. Trayvon says GS Golden State wanted to keep Bob, but he said he was tired. See, there you go. He wanted, again, it's just sometimes you get burnt in your job, and I think a lot of us have been there. So I can I can sympathize with that. And again, he has financial security. Not everyone has. And he had time, and he's got a nice gig with ESPN. So why not, right? Why not? I mean, Steve Kerr for a time, remember he was working, he was a part of staffs, a front office staff in Phoenix, whatnot, then decided to become back into the announcer booth, was playing as far as the color analyst for NBC, if I'm not mistaken, and then got the call, come back, and after Mark Jackson was fired, and he came in there, and the rest is history. Although his career is winding down, maybe possibly in Golden State, because he's coaching with no extension in sight as of now. So we'll see how interesting. And he said he doesn't want any talks of a new contract until the end of the season at the very least. So who knows what he's going to do from there as well. Jeremy, I don't think there's any chance Malone will be under this current conditions. Jeremy, no, I'm not going to say never, because things can change. Maybe somebody Mike Malone gets along with could be hired in the front office. Maybe he gets along with Mark Walter, whatnot, that could change things. But yeah, his words on is what he said before. It's been probably going to be very hard to bring him in as far as it's concerned. But yeah, great conversation with you guys. You guys have been awesome. Once again, I want to give a big special shout out as well to all my mods, Vari, aka Sports Baby, Mark, aka Xbox, JSJ, Kurt, who I don't think I saw him tonight, but he's usually here. But of course, the mastermind behind all of this, Search and Destroy. Great to have these guys here modding our community here, and you guys are just truly appreciated by all of us, and cannot thank you enough for the work that you guys do on each and every show that we do. And for everybody watching tonight or listening to me babble on about the Lakers and trying to avoid the bad news that we saw tonight, thank you again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you're following us on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, I am truly indebted to you for doing so as well. Hopefully my conversation or my voice will get you through the traffic that's out there and get you into your workplace. Or if you're at the workplace, you've got the headset on or the earbuds on, and it's getting you through your workday. So I truly appreciate it. Make sure you check my NBA team previews, because I worked really hard on getting 29. Well, actually, it's I think it's 32, 33 interviews lined up for the other 29 teams, or 32 interviews, something like that. Over 30 interviews for these 29 teams with people all around the world who cover these teams on a daily basis to give you insight on it. And I've really had some good conversations. Megan Price, like I mentioned, for San Antonio, is the latest one I popped out there. And I've got Jay Rosales for members. I think I put up for the members right now. That'll be out and available to everyone tomorrow. And if you're a member, you can go ahead and catch it first, because you're paying the $2.99 a month, and that's greatly appreciated right there. I don't like to get, if I can't give you guys, I want to give you guys value when you become a member and give you guys something worth your money. And I'm really trying to work hard to give you extra content that you guys can see first. But even if you're just a general watcher, if you guys just like and subscribe and just stop on by, I'm trying to give you more content as well. And I just hope you guys appreciate that fact. But SB, thanks, guys. Great show. Thanks. Yes, anytime for you, Vari, my friend. Truly appreciate it. Jeremy, great solo show. Yeah, just try to hang it in there for you guys. Again, we're committed to you. We're committed to doing this right. I know that you guys got many choices out there. Jovan Buha, you got Lakers Nation, Trevor Lane. You got Locked On Lakers with the Kamenetsky brothers. You guys got all these Laker choices. I understand it's a very competitive area. A lot of purple and gold. A lot of the bubble, as I talk about with the media and all there. We're not in the bubble. We're giving you type of insight and opinions that are different from what you see on there. And we're glad you just, again, choosing us as part of your day and to listen in. And plus also a chance to voice your opinions and thoughts. And I'm hopefully getting that to you as well. Jeremy said, oh, yeah, best. Shout out to you, my friend. Again, truly appreciate you joining us right there. Again, I'm so grateful. South Africa, we recently joined with Nibel. He was, telling us he's from South Africa. And then, of course, got the guys, my friends from Australia, Philippines, Europe, South America. Cannot thank you for Canada. Cannot thank you for wherever you are, the UK, for listening to us right here. Jeremy says, Giovan Buha is currently saying he sees promise with that game. Is he on crack such a company? Again, he's trying to provide positives. And these guys, they want to stay on the positives because they think it's best for their community. I can't get with it. I have to call it like I see it. If I see the Lakers embarrassed and then play embarrassing and play like they have no heart and they quit in that fourth quarter, I got to tell you that honestly. You cannot tell me that there's a ray of sunshine in that second half. That was miserable. I am telling you the positive I'm taking out of the game was what I saw in the first half last night and the first half tonight. Those were positives I can take because they were very competitive. They played with a lot of spirit. They played with a lot of heart. They played with a lot of energy in both of those first halves. Second half, I would like to take both those second halves in Phoenix and Las Vegas and shove it where I like to put it. I'd like to put it in a suitcase. Then I'd like to take the suitcase and throw it off the highest mountaintop I could, because again, those second halves were absolutely terrible. But the thing is, I'm hoping that's not a precursor, as what Joe has said before, as far as third quarters are concerned, for this team going forward. I have to see this team competitive for four quarters during the season. If this team is not fighting for everything that they can in the four quarters of these games, then they're going to lose quite a bit of games, which is going to be surprising because I was short one in regards to how many players that are looking for a new contract. I think it was mentioned earlier today, Brian Windhorst, who I don't always agree with, but he did say that the Lakers have 8 players. I kept saying 7, but 7 or 8. So if he says 8, let's run with 8. 8 players that are looking to get new contracts because they have contracts coming up or they can opt out at the end of this upcoming season. So that is 8 players that really need to play their heart out during the season in order to secure their financial success for one or multiple seasons. So with Luka playing at elite level and 8 guys financially incentivized to play at their very best, that's what's holding out hope for me for this season. But I don't want to take everything away from this poor performance in the past couple nights in the second halves, because again, we've seen teams lollygag before in the preseason, then really start to tune it up in during the season. Once the season starts, they seem to turn. Some teams just turn on the light. We've seen it before, and they go from there. So I'm keeping that realm of possibility there for the Lakers, and I'm hoping that will be the case going forward. Not having LeBron there is going to be hard to deal with. I think it's going to take some working out. The Lakers don't have the easiest of schedules. They do have, in my opinion, they have to split with Minnesota. They have to take the first game against Golden State. They have to play at least, I think, be 6-4 would, through 10 games would be a positive. 7-3 would be even better. But we'll see definitely what happens coming up this season. Trayvon, it was 37-8 in that fourth quarter that they got outscored. It was bad. 8 for a long time, Trayvon. It was 2. The number was 2 until like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Yeah, they had one time where outscored 30-2 in that fourth quarter. Let me say this again: 30-2, and that is absolutely inexcusable for guys that are fighting for an NBA roster spot. It's absolutely just no heart tonight in that second half. And again, I'm hoping that this will be left out on that floor in Las Vegas, and that going forward we'll see a team with more heart. Hopefully, JJ tore the guys a new one, and they'll become more motivated, and we'll see a better product on Friday because Luka will be back. Of course, also as well, we'll see most of the lineup. I don't expect we'll see Jared Vanderbilt because he did get the knee to the thigh. So I have a feeling those are the type of things that, you guys have had that when somebody knees you in the thigh, it's bruised for a couple of days. And, for the smallest of bruises in the exhibition season, they hold these guys out during the regular season as well. So I don't expect Jared to play unless he really thinks he's going to make a go. But my guess is that he will start the season in the starting lineup and replacing LeBron. But wait, see what happens. Jake LaRavia will be playing. Austin Reaves will be playing. Luka will be playing on Friday. So we should see most of the players for the Lakers that are going to be in the rotation playing on Friday night against the Sacramento Kings. So I look forward to it, and I'll be on playback. And then, of course, I'll be on with the post game and whoever decides to show up right here on the post game as well. And before I want to go, I wanted to mention again, if you're interested, and I've seen a couple people say they're interested in the fantasy basketball league, if you want, or if you're interested in it, please, within the next 24 hours, let me know by putting in the comments below if you're watching this after the fact, because I wanted to figure out how many teams I might be signed up for, if it's going to be 8, 10, 12 team league or whatnot. If there's many people that want to be a part of our Lakers Fast Break leagues, then I'll just open up another one as well. And if we've got enough participation, I may work out something with Chris, the art director, so I can go ahead and, aka Drip Show, at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter also as well, right there for you. We'll be able to maybe set up a prize for the winner, but we'll wait and see. Again, not guaranteeing that as of yet. I want to see the kind of participation and how many people actually want to be a part of fantasy basketball. And then last but not least, again, I'm having my prediction show on Monday. We're most likely going to have a fantasy basketball draft on Sunday night during a show there. And here, that'll be live here on YouTube. And then I will also mention, if you have your predictions, top 1 to 15, 1 to 15 in the East, 1 to 15 in the West, your finals, 2 teams in the finals, who's going to win, so who will be the NBA champs, plus your coach of the year, MVP, defensive player of the year, and rookie of the year. If you want to send that to me, I would really love to go ahead and have your thoughts posted and be told to everyone out there on our prediction show, our season preview show on Monday. Please send it to me, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. Serge, again, you do such a great job. I'm noticing everything you're doing, my friend, and you're always the best at doing it. You, Vari, Xbox, JSJ, Kurt, you guys all do a great job as modding. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Sports Baby, BTS, do you do it on the YouTube channel to watch the first? Oh, okay. By the way, guys, again, if you want to cheer yourself up, Awful Coaching on YouTube. The guy is not a big fan of Bronny's. Yes. Demon Hunters. Yeah, it's the most popular entity ever on Netflix. I did see. Yes, Demon Hunters. Yes, I saw Demon Slayer at the movies was great. It was really good. But Demon Hunters on Netflix was pretty good as well. Again, it's more than just a kiddie movie. I understand a lot of kids have gone into it. They're singing the songs and whatnot, but as a structured animated musical, I think you guys should check it out. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised indeed. Jeremy says, Jerry, and good flicks you can recommend right now. Well, it's not going to make us money back because it just was announced, I think it was on Variety, but One Battle After Another. Take the politics out of it, guys. Okay, take the politics out of it. I don't want to hear about the politics. Just if you want to see a well-acted movie, and because we used to didn't care about putting the politics of movies and whatnot. If you just want to see a well-acted movie, Jeremy, One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. It's one of Paul Thomas Anderson, who's the director, one of his best movies he's ever made. And again, he has a long history of making some really good movies. So if you want to get a chance, please, that would be my suggestion right now. It just was reported that it's not going to make its budget. which is unfortunate, but it was a very costly movie to make. So I'm not truly surprised on that. The biggest disappointment right now for me is Tron Ares, because I really love Tron and Tron Legacy, and I'm very sad to see Tron Ares tanking at the box office as well. Shut up, Joe. But yeah, thank you, Search. But yeah, that's what I can recommend right now, Jeremy. Would be that movie, One Battle After Another. Again, putting the politics aside, just watch it for resume. Just sit down and watch a movie. You want to see a well-acted movie? There you go, right there with Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, and whatnot. That would be the movie I would recommend you guys go see. But there should be other good movies coming out, because it's starting to get into Oscar season, where movies are coming out trying to woo the Oscar voters. So we should see more and more movies coming out. I was disappointed also as well. The Smashing Machine from The Rock. The Rock is a great performance, but the movie itself kind of lets it down as a whole. And I know not a lot of people were willing to go ahead and see a period in the life of former MMA great Mark Kerr. So yeah, that's Jeremy. It's a movie. It's still out in theaters. The Long Walk, Bloodhound has mentioned this too. Yeah, The Long Walk also is a pretty good movie as well. The Long Walk and One Battle After Another are both in the theaters right now, Jeremy. Probably The Long Walk is going to hit digital. As far as if you want to go ahead and pay for digital, that'll be available probably in the next couple weeks. One Battle After Another probably be available on digital, probably, I'm assuming, by middle of next month would be my guess, or maybe even early next month, as far as it's concerned. I think One Battle After Another will be on HBO Max. I might be wrong on that one, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, if you want to go see it in the theaters, One Battle After Another and The Long Walk, Bloodhound has a good recommendation. I've heard nothing but good things about The Long Walk as well. Search and Destroy. So yeah, the Mark Kerr movie, just nobody wants to see Mark Kerr's story. They don't care if he was addicted to opioids and other stuff, and he was abusive to his significant other. Emily Blunt was pretty good in the movie, and The Rock is pretty good in his role, but unfortunately, the subject matter was just not appealing to a large and general audience, which is a shame. I think if it would have been sent straight to streaming, I think it would have been much more successful with The Rock's name attached to it there. I think a lot of people would have given it more of a chance. But so many of these films these days, they have to go out to theaters. And then by the time they get to streaming, if they're not successful, they're considered a bomb. A lot of people just don't make them a priority to watch on streaming because, oh, I heard that was a bomb. That's no good. Why would I want to see that? It just, a lot of these films just, maybe it would be wiser just to go ahead and shoot straight towards the streaming platform and maybe get the kind of pub and press and get, maybe easier for people to accept it right there. Random movie, but Fox, yeah. Oh, yeah. Foxcatcher is very good. One of Steve Carell's best ever performances. Although, as I've said before in the show, I'm a sucker for the 4-Year Virgin. That I think Steve Carell was just really good in that movie, and it's a hilarious movie and one of the best comedies I've ever seen. Plus the fact it is good because it was the platform for many of today's stars: Kevin Hart, Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, Steve Carell, so many people, Elizabeth Banks, so many players, so many stars got a huge platform by being in that film. I know that some of them had, sometimes, in some cases, many credits before that, but a lot of those individuals got a really big boost from the success of 40-Year-Old Virgin. Heretic. Yeah, there you go, PTS. Parasite. Well, Parasite's one of the best movies of this century. It was actually considered the best movie of this century, I believe, recently rated as. So yeah, The Whale by Brendan Fraser, absolutely BTS. But Brendan Fraser is another movie, Rental People, about his life being, let's say, a struggling actor playing roles in Japan as far as family, being a substitute family member in Japan. Rental people I've heard a lot of good buzz about, and I'm excited to see if Brendan Fraser will be nominated for his performance as well, like he was the whale. Yeah, he had just an outstanding performance from him there as well. But yeah, great talking to you guys again. If you want more pop culture talk like this, I do this twice every week virtually, where we cover the world of pop culture, movies, streaming, video games, also as well at times pro wrestling as well. Hit me up on the Pop Culture Cosmos. I really think you guys would like it as well. It's a clean hour where we just hit you right and left with what's trending in pop culture. And it's really good conversation that I have with either TJ Johnson, Josh Peterson, or whoever else stops by on the show. So I hope you guys will get a chance to check out the Pop Culture Cosmos as well. Jeremy says Steve Carell is so multi-talented, not just comedy. So yeah, absolutely. Jeremy, I think that's the theme. I think Jim Carrey, with his success with the Truman Show, really showcased what comedians can do when they step out of their realm and get serious roles or more serious roles, and how the comedians can actually be perceived as really good actors, and then we'll go from there. Didn't Brendan Fraser say The Rock stole roles from him? Yeah. Yeah, but they appeared in The Mummy 2 together, as if I remember, some of the worst CGI for The Rock in that film. And I'll leave it at that, Sports Baby. But it was great to have you guys on. It's Gerald Glassford. Once again, the Lakers, they lose with a terrible second half where they got outscored by 40, 121-94. We'll be back on Friday. Remember, actually, I will be back with my interviews. More NBA team previews are going to be coming at you. Again, right now, I've got a lot of good stuff that I like. Again, I'm throwing at you. I know that's a lot of stuff for both audio and video, but I wanted to make sure you guys are getting a lot of good content that's coming out there. So again, I'm hoping you're enjoying it. I'm hoping you're getting a good idea as far as the season ahead. I'm giving you these season previews. I really worked hard on it, and I'm hoping you guys are liking it. Yes, again, tomorrow I'm going to release Jay Rosales, my conversation with him. He writes about the Toronto Raptors. That'll be up tomorrow. Check out Megan Price, talking about San Antonio Spurs. And for you members out there, we are going into the Utah Jazz. Calvin Barrett, I'll be on one day, and the next day, Matt John. Calvin Barrett is actually a guy I interviewed after midnight here locally because he lives in Japan. And yes, he covers the Utah Jazz. That was a great conversation. And also Matt John as well. So that's coming up for you guys the next couple days. Then we got the Washington Wizards. And then I've got a special Eastern Conference look at you coming up here. I'll try to get a Western Conference in as well before we start the season with someone, with a member of the press. And then also I've got a special look at an upcoming Lakers book. I've recorded an interview with a great author, and he's got a really good book coming out that I think you guys are going to really like, and that's coming up in the coming days as well. So hopefully you guys will like that as well. Logan Lucky, yeah, great movie as well. Absolutely indeed. But again, wanted to thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, the Lakers fall to 1-4 in the exhibition season as they lose 121-94. For everyone out there, cannot thank you enough for stopping by, watching, listening. Hopefully I'm getting you through your day and what I'm saying and talking about the Lakers. Again, just not a great performance in the second halves in both Phoenix and Las Vegas, but kind of take solace of what we saw in the first half, and hopefully we can apply that into the last preseason game and then the season going forward as well. Want to put some positivity on this note on a very negative evening here in Vegas. But Jeremy says great content. Really appreciate your work. Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. I know you've been saying you're first a lot to watch the videos I have put out there, so I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to watching it, and for all of you out there for taking the time to watch what I'm doing, whether it's me and Joe, me and John, me and whoever, far as Legend, whoever's on the show with me. Truly appreciate you taking time to stopping by on the show. for listening as well. For all those audio listeners out there, big shout out to you guys as well. Truly cannot thank you enough. I will see you on Friday. Don't forget my NBA team previews, but make sure you catch us for the post game on Friday night after Sacramento, and also playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And don't forget as well, tomorrow for the Dodgers game, head over and catch Vari showcasing it on playback.tv/the Joe Soro Experiment. Appreciate it. But Trayvon, thank you as always, my friend. Gregory, Jeremy, Blood, Search, Sports Baby, JY, BTS, all you guys out there doing a great job. Cannot thank you enough for doing so. I know that I heard yesterday after the post game, I was getting kind of a little sad because Hernan, I don't know if you guys, I try to follow what you guys say over the course of the time that you hear. No Choker, too. Wanted to give a big shout out to No Choker. I was really saddened by what I saw Hernan last night say about the Lakers, about whether or not they should tank or not. Because Hernan, from my memory, as far as seeing many of his comments were really positive. In a lot of cases, more positive in mine. So seeing him post that last night kind of hit me. And when you guys have a certain way of thinking, you're really positive on the Lakers, really think they're going to do well. And there are certain guys that are out there, or certain gals that are out there, and certain fans out there of the Lakers that, again, they just think the Lakers are going to do well no matter what because they're the Lakers. And I really am happy for those people when they think like that. It's when they start to question the team, it's when I get concerned. And I will say this, if you're questioning the team right now, I wouldn't do so yet. I wouldn't put a definitive finger on it yet. I would say, let's see how this looks the first 5 games of the season, and then we can go from there. I just wait until the regular season before we start calling for everyone's jobs and whatnot. Because, again, preseason doesn't always give you a showcase of exactly everything that a team has prepared for in the regular season. So let's keep that in mind. I'm hoping that's going to be the case, and I'm hoping the Lakers will get off to a good start and put your mind at ease just a little bit for what may head going forward. So definitely want to give it a shout out. But yes, Best League too. Want to give a shout out to you, my friend, as well. We options for why we tank. He was just saying that. I think it's frustration, Best. So I'm not. You don't be mad at him. He's someone that pops in from time to time. Usually has very positive things to say about the Lakers. And I felt bad for him that he was getting to that point where he started to question the team. And again, if you are, just take some solace in the fact that it is just exhibition right now. And I'm hoping that the Lakers will turn the corner. I'm not going to tell you it is, but there's a lot of times where we've seen teams struggle in preseason to work on some things, to work out some things. And then once that light hits during the regular season, it can go from there. But again, I'm not making any guarantees. I see a lot of same things that you guys see, but I'm hoping that's going to be the case. But again, I'm trying to keep an open mind. And again, I know you guys know me as someone who's been very critical of the team, very critical of the organization in recent years. That I've been doing this, but I call it like I see it. I try to call it like I see it. If the team's doing bad, then I tell you. If the team's doing good, I tell you. I can just tell you this again. It's preseason, and that's what I'm going to take away from it is that they're struggling during this preseason, but there's a chance by the time that the light turns on coming Tuesday that it could be turned around and getting the Lakers off to a good start. So we will wait and see what happens on there. Trayvon says tank for what we have seen the players Rob drafts. Yeah, exactly, Trayvon. That's just, again, I don't have much faith in Rob Pelinka. You'll forgive me if I do. If you're a supporter of Rob, more power to you on that. But as Trayvon knows, we've been up and down this road with Rob Pelinka, and now Rob's at the point where I got to see it. I got to see it on the court. I got to see his work on the court. I got to see the team that he put it together for a run. You have one of the best players on the planet that's not named LeBron James. His name is Luka Doncic. He's in his prime. You need to start building a winner now. You cannot have gap years. You cannot have years where you just throw a year away and just say, okay, we're going to be mediocre, but we have a lot of cap space going forward. And because you never know what's going to happen. A lot of the players that you're coveting may be signed and may stay with their team, leaving you with just a lot of cap space that you're going to fill with bad contracts, which isn't going to help you at all. So again, I need to see it on the court, and I need to see a better product on the court, and hopefully we will get one starting this upcoming season. So we'll leave it at that. Jeremy, again, I'm trying not to throw the negative Nilly, the negative Nancy, as you were, as far as throwing it out there 100%. But I'm not going into Laker Tom realm where I'm sniffing the purple and gold glue and everything that the Lakers do is at times, Tom, doesn't stink. But at times he's rational. There's times that he's not so rational. But I love Laker Tom to death, man. He's just an awesome guy, even when he's yelling at me or yelling at Jamie. So he already sent in his predictions as well for the season. But if you have your predictions again, let me know. LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. If you're interested in fantasy basketball, like Tony was, and more, let me know in the comments. Let me know below after the video. Let me know in the notes I put up there. I will set up a league and have it set up for Sunday night. Hopefully you'll be there, but hopefully you'll be with us on Friday night. Hopefully you'll be here for the NBA team previews. If you love the Dodgers, join us on playback. And, of course, the Joe Soro experiment as well. So, again, thanks so much again for joining us. Hour and 41 in. I'm going to shut it down. But I'm truly grateful for your support and everything that you do. If you have someone in your life that is a basketball or a Lakers fan and loves good conversation, please, 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 it's imperative to tell them that they might like what we're doing right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Is it standard now that I have to go, like Joe does? I don't know. Do you guys miss it if I didn't do it?